In this video, we're going to be talking about how to use Claude and Claude Cowork to start looking for virality and building our own social media strategy using social growth engineers and then the powering it by Claude and Claude Cowork. So, if you're brand new, you're switching over to Claude from ChatGPT, welcome. We're going to talk about all the different features and how we're going to be using this for all of these different parts for social media. This is a series, so if you want to see more, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're watching this on replay, do hashtag replay. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that we're going to look for is what structure we need for using these strategies for social media virality and all those things. And then we're going to be using Claude Cowork as well with this. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring up Claude Cowork, talk about what it is, and then we're going to be bringing up social engineering and talk about that. So let's take a look. I'm going to share my screen right here. There we go. We're going to share. And we'll do a whole window, actually. No, we'll do a whole entire screen. Okay. So what we're seeing right here is, if you're not familiar with this, this is using the Claude app. And Claude is just like if you're using something like ChatGPT, right? So here I can ask questions, I can have projects, all of these things. But Claude Cowork is kind of like the go-between Claude Code and Chat. Cowork allows you to basically do actions. So you can add a lot more context. You can have a lot more control when you're actually doing things locally on your computer. And then you can also grant it access to use the app or use the Chrome extension and do things with the MCP, which just means it can start taking actions on your behalf and things like that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be using Cowork for social media. Now, if you want to see this, this is in another video that we're going to release potentially. But basically, um, we use Cowork to actually create a whole diagram and setup of what how we should redesign the office. And so you're seeing here we have brand new lights, everything like that. We've been getting a lot of compliments. Well, this actually, again, Claude Cowork took measurements. I sent it how big the floor plan was, where my lights are, and then it actually told me where to reposition the lights, where should I have the different like tube light, the type of lighting I should have, and then this is the result of here. And this is just one of the main feature. This is just one of the features using Claude Cowork where I'm giving it tons of context where I'm telling it, here's my current setup, here's what I have, this is my camera, this is the space and dimension of my room, and then be able to build this out. I gave it references of the screenshots of other YouTubers that I liked, and then I also gave it more context of where my lights are in the room and everything. And then it made me a PDF guide of how I reposition the the camera, the lights, and even by the degrees of where I should put everything, and then also how many inches away from the wall this should be. So you're actually seeing a full breakdown of what I should be doing, all from Claude Cowork, step by step right here. So if you want this, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll actually give you this whole diagram and talk about the prompt that I used and everything like that. So again, this is just the power of using something like Claude Code, where you can give it a lot more context. It can do a lot more for you than traditionally what chat can do, the chat features for Claude. So right now, we're going to create a new task here, and I'm going to pick a folder that's going to work out of. I'm going to do Launch Labs, which is everything doing with this brand, and I'm going to start giving it context. So this is the first thing that I'm going to be giving it. Create for me a plan of how I'm going to start creating viral content for my YouTube channel and social media platforms. I'm going to give you several articles and structures for it to give me a summary of how I can do this in an actionable way for my channel. I have a limited amount of time and resources, so I want to look at the best plan and understand the best structure based off of the recommendations. Ask me questions of what I should do before we begin. And so what I'm doing right here is I'm giving it tons of context right here and then going from there to start building this out. So let me move this over here. So it's working. It's going to ask me some questions. Also, too, there are tons of different ways to do this. There's tons of articles and actually courses to take from, you know, for what to do with Claude. I'm going to bring up a bookmark in a second of, I thought it was really good on Twitter earlier this week that I found. Hold on one second. I'm bringing it up. But this is just one of many. But again, I would say the main thing is start working on, there we go. Start looking at use cases and then deciding what you want to do from here. Okay. So let me bring it over. So this one was basically the anatomy of a Claude prompt. So you have the task, context files, reference, brief, success brief, rules, conversation, plan, and then alignment. And so if you want to see that, we can kind of go through the breakdown of that. But this is what we're kind of doing. We'll build up to that, but this is just a reference for you to take a look and everything like that. So if anyone wants to see it, I can definitely put it in the chat. But this is kind of what we're doing off this side here. Okay. So let's get right into this. So we see when we're having this says, what type of content is your channel slash brand focused on? Business and entrepreneurship, education, and how to. I would probably say it's closer to tech and AI, but it really is about entrepreneurship. I'm going to say tech and AI. What platforms are you using? I'm going to say YouTube, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. I haven't really been doing too much, but I need to. How much time do you realistically dedicate to content creation per week? I'm going to say 1 to 3. What format will you use to share the article's resources with me? Paste directly in chat, upload files. I'm going to say paste text directly. I'm going to say share links and everything. Okay. So it says, great. Here's what I've got from you: a niche, tech and AI, platforms, YouTube, long form, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. I've got 1 to 3 hours, and I'm going to be giving the URLs. Go ahead and drop the links whenever you're ready. Once I read through them, I'll synthesize a tight, actionable, viral content plan tailored specifically for your niche, platforms, and time constraints. Build around the best recommendations for your sources. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to do. So let's begin with this one. I think I want to do you actually want to do this? And this is a trend. This trend revolves around sharing those awkward, funny, or frustrating moments when people call you out for not doing something right in their eyes. It's all about humor and relatability. Okay, so that's one new face. New face search app hits 30 in the US in after 30 days. Let's see. What should we do? A simple hook drives multi-category growth. Athlete creator hits first 8K. Let's see. Long ultra specific hook. Relationship hook. This is a national trend. Let's not overthink it. Let's just do the weekly roundup. Grab this, then let's start looking at that for a second. So let's put this in. Let's start with this. Ooh, unable to access. Paste article directly text. Interesting. Different link. Interesting. So let's see about this. Maybe they're doing it so it won't start searching. Let's do this. What I'm going to do is save it as a PDF and then be able to feed it into it. Okay, let's see what happens here. Save as a PDF. Let's just go with the date. Okay. See what happens. Add the PDF. Let's do a couple. So that's another way. Sometimes if you're having trouble, if it's just not either if it's private or it can't, if it's being blocked, you can just save it as a PDF and then just upload it that way. Yesterday. It's not very long. Let's go with another one. Let's do the single hook one. Oh, see, that one is going to be premium. So there's a couple different ways around it, but let's just try to do this a couple more times and then come back. Let's make this. Save. 526 part 2. And then let me know in the chat if anyone else is using Claude or if they've been using Claude Cowork, what they're using it for, or they're looking for use cases for it as well. You see right here, add plugins. You can do that. You can browse the plugins, start looking at that productivity, enterprise, search, sales, finance, data, so many different things, operations, optimize business operations, brand voice. There's a lot of things you can do with it. Let's do this. Let's take a look. All right. Okay, I attempted to read, but encountered file size limitations. Let's see about it. Let's read about it. Okay, cool. Just doing that right now. All right. Let's see what else we have. I just don't have time to read a lot of their emails. They put out quite a bit. Monthly report. Let me put that. See, 18.2 million views for $48. Many founders are spending $50,000 a month on TikTok ads. Meanwhile, others are posting 6 videos on a freshly made account and pulling 18 million views. This one hit 10 million views in the first video with Dan's UGC. It costs $8 per video. Oh my goodness. With Dan's UGC, you will access a whole library of ready-to-use clips from viral proven formats. To help you kickstart. That is so wild what people are doing now. Of course, it's an ad. That is just so wild. So wild. So weird. Okay, cool. Let's take a look. Okay, so it says, got everything I need from the both PDFs. Now let me pull in document skill, in the document skill before building your plan. Launched skill, running the skill. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's take a look. That is just so wild to me. How much is it? Pricing? $8 per video. Minimum $200. B-roll, shared video library, and download instantly. Choose videos you like. Preview before purchase. Never posted videos made just for you, zero content restriction. That is just wild. Claim your username. This is just, there's so many things right here. That's exactly right, man. Appreciate you. We're trying. We're trying. Let's see. So many interesting things. Okay. Welcome back to next month in consumer app growth, our monthly breakdown of what actually is driving reach, engagement, and downloads across consumer apps. Each month, we analyze top performing apps and creator networks across short form platforms to surface the formats, hooks, and strategies that are working right now. This month, we expanded the scope and added two more niches: social networking and lifestyle and entertainment. Okay, added that to the mix. This month, at a glance, total views 1.2 billion, engagement 5.25. Crazy. All right, so the biggest growth stories. Drunk on trivia. This creator pulled 431 million views using a simple X or Y quiz format that sorts viewers into groups, forcing engagement. This format could easily power an educational app. Interesting. Hmm. So it's almost like a game show style. Okay. Very interesting. Amazing. The remix? Interesting. So it's really good for a format to remix for almost like a game for people to do more content. Interesting. This dating app, oh, that's okay. So that was number one. This format easily for educational app. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Now, what do we have here? Okay. So let's see what it has. Your plan, view your viral content plan. Here's a quick summary of what's inside across 7 sections. What the document covers. The plan is built entirely around your constraints. Tech and AI niche 1 to 3 hours a week, 3 platforms. The core idea is simple: borrow proven viral formats, plug in AI or AI specific scenarios, and produce one idea across all 3 platforms without filming anything extra. The 8 format playbook gives you ready to use hooks like how it feels to realize AI did just did in 5 seconds what it took me 3 hours, and putting myself in a timeout because I paid for 6 AI subscriptions and I used 2 of them, each with 4 to 5 specific examples you can film this week. Wow. Okay. The weekly system breaks into 2 hours into clearly 15 to 45-minute blocks. Monday trend check, Tuesday filming, Thursday LinkedIn writing, Friday posting. I mean, but would I really post things on Friday? I did check. Includes a batch filming tip, so there's always 2 weeks ahead. Oh, there's also a monthly content calendar, platform specific rules for each of the three channels, a first week quick start checklist, and ongoing trend tracking. Okay. Wow, I made all that. Oh, Bob, thanks so much. I'm gonna make sure I share a sound. With this one, sometimes it is. I'll make sure I change that next time. For sharing, I'm not sure if it's only tab only for StreamYard. I'll check that. Okay, so viral content plan. So it built out section one, the core strategy. Okay, part one, part two. Okay, cool. So it's giving me the format, the playbook. I like that. Okay, cool. Your first week check, quick start checklist, how to stay on trend weekly. Okay. Two articles represent early 2026 March. Subscribe, do all those things. Okay. So this is good that we have this developed. Now you might ask, like, okay, so now that we have this, but what would change if we're using Claude Cowork with this? Well, now that we have this, I can just ask it right here. Let me make sure that I have Cowork on my um my browser. Let me do that first. Okay, participating, all of those things. What I'm doing is right here, I am having Claude Code on Chrome right here and having all this set up too. So if you haven't used um, Claude's the Chrome extension, that's going to allow us to do some things with MCP. So it's just going to give us more things to work with. Okay, go beyond the browser with Claude. Try desktop. Stop that right there. Okay. So we have it and we can see it's highlighted orange right here. So we see that it has access for that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do with that's exactly right. Agentic AI to the multiverse. Yep. Let's take a look now to have this available. Okay, let's do this. So we have Claude right here. We have this all set up. Now let's just see. Great. Now I have this plan. How can I be using either the Claude Chrome extension or the MCP to start having this initiated for my brand? What kind of tasks can you now perform next? Okay. And this helps us if we're like, I don't know where to begin with this. I've got it, everything installed. By the way, make sure everything you're okay with the terms and conditions before installing everything, making sure that this works for you. I always say that. Make sure that if there's anything sensitive that you need to keep in mind before doing this. Okay, so it says search for connectors, 10 connectors. Okay, interesting. Oh, great question. Here is a clear breakdown, immediate actionable things for brand factory. Browse the TikTok Creative Center and pull this week's trending sounds that match your formats so you know exactly what audio to use for the filming. Wow. Go to LinkedIn and draft plus stage your first post directly in the editor based on the hook, your plan. Research competitor tech and AI channels on YouTube and TikTok. I can scan their top performing shorts and pull the hook patterns. Visit the social growth engineer site weekly and extract new trend radar for you, saving you time, you the reading time. Scout YouTube thumbnails from top performers in your niche and give you a reference ground. Oh my goodness. With the MCP connectors, I found several that would power your content system. The three highest value ones for your plan specifically are Notion, Hook Bank, and Content Calendar, Canva, thumbnail creation, and Airtable for content tracking database. Let me suggest connecting them. Oh my goodness. Those are pretty good. I didn't even think about any of those ideas how I could be doing this. So it says once connected, here is specifically what each unlocks for your brand. Notion. I can build a living hook bank database and auto populate it with 5 new hooks every Monday based on the week's trends. Maintain your monthly content calendar, all without you opening Notion manually. Canva. I can search your existing Canva designs, create new thumbnail templates for your YouTube shorts and long form videos using your brand colors, fonts, and export them ready to upload. In Airtable, I can set up a content tracking table that logs every post, platform, view count, and format type. So over time, you can see which of the 8 formats are actually converting for your tech and AI audience. Let me know in the chat if this is something that is amazing to you. I just love this. This is why I love using Cowork. So it says the single best first move would be connecting Notion and letting me build your hook bank. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, so I'm gonna log in and start connecting these things, which is just amazing. Just amazing. Okay, let me know in the chat if this is helpful. And this is what I'm saying. This is the power of something like Cowork or whatever you're using. Don't try to overthink of like how could I use this? You can just ask. Like based on the task I just did, how can I use this? What can you help me with? And all of these different ones, browsing the creative center, I didn't even know there was a TikTok creative center. I didn't know. I didn't know any of those things. Um this is what I'm talking about. So we're gonna get to work real quick. Let me sign in and start working on these things. Once I'll bring it over to the screen after I log in on the other screen. All right. Let me just make sure that this is good. I'm going to bring this over here just for a second, everybody. Got to make things safe, especially when you're live streaming, as much as possible. So we're just logging in, authorizing, connecting with the Notion MCP, everything like that. Okay, connected there. This is just wild to me. Let's connect to Canva. Allow. Like in just a few clicks, we can do all this stuff. And then that I already connected with Canva. Let me do it again. Select the team, allow. There we go. Open. Okay. And the last thing is Airtable. I love it. Let's see. Breakthrough. Thanks for all of the support. Appreciate you. Okay. So now I'm in Airtable. This is good enough. Logging into Airtable. Good times. All right, let's connect it. There we go. Connected to Airtable. Okay, cool. So pretty awesome. Okay, so what I did was I just followed and just connected it. Having the Chrome extension and everything like that, it will allow you to connect it. It will ask for permissions, all that kind of good stuff. Now let's try it out. Let's start with Notion. I have everything hooked up. Let's start with Notion. And what I'm gonna say is because I have a lot of stuff in Notion, I'm just gonna tell it to probably create a new workspace. When starting in Notion, make sure that you create a new workspace in Notion. I've got a lot of workspaces in there. Okay. Okay, let's see what it does. It's thinking for a moment. All right. So let's see. It says, good. Let me build your Notion workspace now. I'll create the main hub page first, then build all three databases inside it. Okay, let's see what it's going to do. It's going to create the pages. It's using Notion. It's just like, come on now, bro. Claude wants to use Notion create pages. Always allow. Let's see what happens. Man. Okay. Great. The main hub page was created. Now let's create three databases inside. I'll create a child pages databases. So right now it's creating a hook bank database, a content calendar database, and a trend radar log database. Phew. Hub created. Now building all three databases simultaneously. That is just wild. Wild. Let me know in the chat if you have ever done anything like this. If you have always been wanting to use Notion or maybe another platform, maybe you felt overwhelmed where to start. Now you can be using Claude, telling it what to do, and because it's connected, it can start building out those databases for you in that structure. Now, again, it doesn't replace it. It can help you augment your team to move even faster. That's the biggest thing. It's not having you fire everyone at your job. You're allowing people to now be even quicker, even more efficient doing these things. That's the power of using these tools. We're not trying to replace people. We're trying to empower people with these things. We can also see on the side where we have the progress, like fetching Notion enhanced Markdown spec, creating main brand factory content hub, build hook bank database, build content calendar. It's doing all these things. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let me know in the comment section if this makes sense as we're doing this. And then also too, I'll add the anatomy of a Claude prompt. I'll put that in chat. Let me put that. Amazing. Hook bank loaded with 16 hooks. Now filling the content calendar and trend radar log. Crazy. Let's see if I can see it too. Move over to see this. With 16 hooks now. Let's see. I love it. I love to hear it. Yeah, it's great stuff. Great stuff. Okay, so we have the hook bank right here. Let's take a look of let's see what it looks like. Open link. Amazing. Amazing. Let me star that. Wow. Made the hook bank and everything. Content calendar. Tells me when I need to do it. Okay. Oh my goodness. Opens. Okay. Love it. This is really interesting. Really interesting. Okay. So it just built that whole thing out for me. Thank you. Okay. Now it says, okay, what to do next? Monday morning routine. It even tells me, I was like, I feel overwhelmed. Open the trend radar log, add whatever new trends you spotted this week, pick one hook from the hook bank marked ready to film, update its status in progress. The whole Monday check-in should take 15 minutes. Want me to set up a recurring scheduled task that automatically reminds you your weekly workflow? Yes. I'm going to say set up automatically. Yes. Let's say this. Great. So many good things. And this is can like so if you're working like with a if you're a small business, you're working a small business, like Claude Cowork can be almost like your chief of staff, something like that. It's crazy. So much information, it makes my head yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is just crazy stuff. It's running the skill schedule. What time should the weekly content briefing be? Run. I'm gonna say 10 can we do something else? 10:30 a.m. Let's be honest. You know my schedule. Let's be reasonable here. What time will I be awake? Perfect. Let me create this now. This is amazing. This is what I'm talking about. All right. All right. Look at that. Great stuff. 10:30 a.m. Mondays. Let me create this now. Search for shortcut and schedule files. List directory contents at session mouthpath. Now create a scheduled task. Let me draft a comprehensive self-contained prompt for the weekly content briefing, then call to create. Oh my goodness, that's great. So cool. Then we can see the script it's running too. It's running a Python script. So great. So great. And that's what I'm saying right here. When we're looking at Cowork really allows you to be more efficient with your time and energy. So this is one example of like viral social media, but really start thinking about how can you start using this that like stresses you out or it overwhelms you. For me, I really like the format of finding out about like social growth engineers and stuff like that. I just have like 10 other things and I always put this off to the side. I know I have to start experimenting with this. This now gives me the step by step of what I can be doing. Okay, so we have this and then it's going to go into Canva and we're going to go from there. Great stuff. Great stuff. Let me know in the comment section if this is helpful, if you like seeing things like this, if I'm going too slow. I might just create other videos to show you like a summary of it, but I think it's important to start doing this right now to show it off because this also shows what's possible and gives you inspiration, gives me drive when I'm doing this stuff to be like, okay, oh my God, like I can do all of these things now. So let me know what kind of format you want, like use cases like this, like I mentioned at the beginning, how we how I use Claude Cowork to redo the entire room and like the format, and the lighting and everything to give it pictures and context of what I'm working with. Let me know what you want to see with Claude Code. So right here, it's compacting our conversation so we can keep chatting. This is great. Let's see what else. Look at that, scheduled, customized. So I wonder if this will be scheduled. Run tasks on a schedule or whenever you need it. Slash schedule for existing tasks to set one. So I wonder if it's going to make a task after this. Probably. Update to do list. This is just wild. Okay. The Notion workspace is confirmed. So now I have everything needed to create a scheduled task. Let me create scheduled task. Oh yeah, in Cowork, I've been in Terminal playing around. Yeah, thanks, gave me an idea. Yeah, and so that's what I really like about Cowork because if you're in regular Claude when you're chatting, I still think it's a better. I just like chatting with it better than Chat GPT. I think the personality and just like the way it chats back and forth, I prefer it. Just the language model. Claude Code you can do from the terminal, which is cool, and you can do a lot of like small to do tasks and things like that. But like Cowork, I feel like is like the perfect in between where you can do a lot of lower level things or less complicated things. And I think basically they I think I've heard it described as like Claude Code for Dummies or like Claude Code Light, whatever you want to say. But either way, it allows you to do less heavy lifting, thinking about or using terminal if people are afraid of being in the terminal. I know when like I tried to be in the terminal when I was coding when I was younger, and when I don't use it, like I forget how to do it. I still think there's a lot of benefit if you're going to do stuff with GitHub and things like that. But to do smaller tasks and like having small Python scripts like this, I think Cowork is great. And it still connects with like your MCPs and also to like your local files. A lot of great stuff. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. And we'll probably do a new we're doing a new video coming out with brain grid and how to use Claude Code and using the command line interface, so the CLI. We're going to do that. If anyone wants to see it, let me know. We'll be dropping it soon, but basically something called Brain Grid. So they talk about it's an AI product planner that helps you shape ideas and plans. So basically, it gives you an extra layer, if, especially if you're building applications using Claude Code or Lovable. This really helps a lot too. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Okay, cool. So it's saying good. The Notion workplace is confirmed. Found the key. Okay. Here's where things stand. Shortcut config is written. I've saved it in the task in your workspace with the full briefing, task name, scheduled, one heads up, the create scheduled task system tool, which registers the task, with Cowork desktop app scheduler isn't available when a live session is running. It's a safety measure to prevent tasks from scheduling themselves recursively. Okay. The shortcut file is staged and ready to fully activate the recurring. Start a new Cowork session and ask, set up my weekly content briefing shortcut as a scheduled task or look for a scheduled option. Interesting. Once registered, it will fire every Monday. Let's do this. Copy. Fully activate. Start a new Cowork session. Let's do it. Let's quit and come right back. Keep posting, Doc. Your content is very helpful. Hey, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Let's see. I'm going to open up Claude again. New session. Let's try this. See what it does. Let me look up existing shortcuts to understand. Okay, so working on it. Found briefing and weekly content files. Okay. Can't find the weekly content briefing shortcut. Likely stored in a internal data outside my reach. I need a couple of the details. Say I don't have one handy. Use it. What does your weekly content briefing shortcut do? Let me do this for a second. Let's go back in. Let's see if I can do it right here. That way, maybe we'll have more context right here. So I'm doing in the session. Let's see what happens. Let's see what it does. Okay. Schedule. It's live. So what I had to do was I had to go back into the recent one. I created a brand new one, but it didn't have the context and everything right there. It pulled everything correctly right here. Opens your brand factory Notion workspace, pulls all ready to film hooks, reviews your content, scans the radar log, delivers a structured 5-day action plan in under 2 minutes. You can find it in the scheduled section of the sidebar. So here, right here, and then we have it scheduled. Perfect. Love it. Okay. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to say, great, what's next? Okay, so we're going to probably set up the Canva thing next, but we'll look at it step by step, see what it does. You're all set. Here's what's live. Notion, a few things, expand the ecosystem, add more hooks, run a briefing now, build a repurposing workflow, set up a second scheduled task that takes your YouTube long form and auto generates the LinkedIn post and short hook from it. Huh. Wow. Let's do the Canva thing. Let's see how it does with Canva. Can I use Copilot? Copilot? No, can I use Cowork for creating and scheduling blogs? I think you definitely could. I would use it. You could definitely create it for blogs. you would probably just need to make sure it's connected to whatever um access, if like if you what site are you using, or if you're using WordPress or Framer or something, like what MCP that will allow it to post and everything. But yeah, I don't see it being a problem with that. What are the colors and fonts? Let me use a brand kit. Which thumbnail templates do you want first? I would say both. I can see your brand kit. What? Wow. Does it have my brand kit? Does it really have my brand kit though? Hold on. How does it have my brand kit? Is it in Canva maybe? Let me add something. I do have a Launch Labs brand kit though. If I can spell, which I can't. I thought I had a Launch Labs. Oh, yeah, I have a style guide. I mean, it did have my orange, which is pretty funny. Let's see. Attached is the style guide to help as well. That's pretty interesting. It got the colors right, which I'm really impressed by, actually. That's pretty great. Let's see. Okay, so it's working on it right now. All right, let's take a look. I'm really impressed. The Notion one was really great. And then as it's doing that, what is the third? Could set up a content tracking table, logs every platform. Yeah, you count. I'll do that later. That's pretty cool. I actually like that. Not bad. It got the colors right and everything. Put that down. Move that. So working. Oh, I like that actually. I'm actually shocked. I did not think I was going to like that at all. Not bad. Pick one from each set and I'll save them in Canva. Wow. Okay. Well, I can't see these. Oh, request timed out. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So long form. They're not horrible. I'm still probably going to use my other one, their platform, but this is a good start. Hmm. I think option maybe one. Let me know in the chat what people think. Maybe a one. Long form. I'll say, I don't know. Option. This is really good, especially if you feel overwhelmed, you don't want to do thumbnails, or you just feel like I just don't have the bandwidth. I think this is a great starting point. Are they the best? I don't think so, but they're really a great start. I would say option one for that one, but I do like the YouTube short ones. Let's take a look at option one. Join us. That's interesting. I like that one. I like option B. Ooh, that's pretty cool though. Option C. I like option C. Cool. That's pretty cool. It's not bad. So, especially if, like graphic design, you need help with this. Wants to create. Okay, let's create it. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Yep. Love it, man. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so then you can jump in, you can open and edit in Canva. That's pretty awesome. Both are live in your account and fully editable. Let's take a look. Wow. Yeah, it's right here. Did it just make my other ones too? Huh. Very cool. I like this one a lot though. Okay, cool. All right. Want me to add these Canva links to your Notion workspace, maybe as a pin resource? Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Yes, do that, please. That's what I'm talking about. Really good stuff. Very cool. Yeah, take a look. Like, this is the whole thing. This is the power when you have this kind of stuff for it to start working for you, your time and everything. Then we're going to do Airtable and see what happens. Oh, what happened? Oh, can I not share anymore? What's going on here? Okay, so it says the whole system is wired up. What should we tackle next? So we have the Notion Hub, briefings firing every Monday, viral content plan. Your strategy doc is in the folder you selected, which is awesome. Let's hook up one more thing. Let's add the let's add an Airtable to it. Where was it? Do I have it in here? No. There we go. Great. Now let's add Airtable to the mix. Add the following task for Airtable. Okay, great. So we just connected Notion. Canva did a great job. Now we're going to look at Airtable and get this all set up. Pretty amazing. We did this all like less than an hour. So it says right here, list bases, always allow, wants to use list bases. Yes. Ah, great. I was just about to say, where should I set the content tracking? Create a new base. Yeah, that's what I want. First, I was like, oh man, I got to do this beforehand. Oh crap. Did all those things. Wants to use create records from Airtable. Always allow. Create records for table. Seeing right here, result. I need to create a new table. Let me use the Airtable API to create a new base. Let's see, there's no tool. Let me think of a different way. Create this. Oh, okay. Always allow. What did it end up doing? Actually, while the Airtable API does not support base, my available tools don't include that capability. I'm limiting to listing it. So what did it need to do? Let me check in my existing base first. Since the tool, I will have existing tables. Doesn't allow me to create new tables. Your existing base is the AI outreach. Here's what I suggest. Build it in Notion instead. I can create a proper content performance, manually set up in Airtable. You can create a new base called that. Takes about 2 minutes. Then share me with me the base link, and I'll add the full table structure. Given everything already living in Notion, I would go with option A. Well, that's interesting. I'm fine with that. Let's go with option A. Pretty interesting. And honestly, I don't have a problem building in Notion. It's interesting how it does that. Okay, let's see. Results here. Database created. Now let's see it into 8 content entries already in the content calendar, so it's not empty. Notion create pages. Okay, cool. And I'm fine with that. Depends on where you're storing the data and what you want to do, but I'm good with that. Now pin it to the hub page. Oh, that's very interesting. The 8 core elements, the webhook, Canva templates. Wow, it has that too. Forgot it did that. Now, where would it be? Live on Notion. Let's see where it is. Content performance. Now, how do I get there? Oh, right here. Yeah, content performance. And it added it right here. All done. Here's what just added. It tracks every post. All 8 posts from your March content calendar already seeded. Your brand factory system now has 5 components: hook bank, content calendar, trend radar, log, Canva templates, content performance. Wow. And just like that, in an hour, it created all of these things. And then it still created my plan as well. So let me ask this, because I have the plan as a Word doc, is there a way to have this also included in the Notion workspace as well? Let's see what it's going to do. Extract the content from the Word doc and build it as a native Notion page inside your hub. Let me read it first. That way it's all in one place. Wow. Pretty crazy. Says absolutely. I'll extract the content from the Word doc and build it as a native Notion page. Good. Now let me grab the tables too, since they'll have the real meat of the playbook. I have everything. Now let me build it as a native Notion page. Wild. Okay. Cool. Now let's see what else we can do. Okay, so I think this is a pretty good example. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good example. Going through the pages. By the way, as we're going through this, if you like this kind of content, make sure that you like and subscribe. We do this every single week. If you want us to do this, I am usually working on something on Claude. Just I'm just not streaming. If people want to see what I'm creating for the business and all these things, I have no problem streaming more throughout the week if this is helpful for people. So just let me know in the comment section. Done. The viral content plan is now native for the Notion page. Let's take a look. Wow. Section one, the core strategy, the formats, the links, cadence, right here. Viral content plan, content performance, all of that. So what I'm going to add is add in the section how viral content plan. Add things about the viral content plan as well. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. So that's awesome. Thanks so much for watching, everyone watching from all different parts of the world, and staying up late with us, trying to experiment and do these different things with Claude Cowork, and really just trying to explain to people how to better use these tools to get things done. Um, I love talking about this stuff. I'm glad that people also enjoy this. So we're gonna keep putting out content about this. Yeah, I like this a lot. All right, open the hub. You have these five. Okay, so again, today what we did was we created a content system. We looked at finding content from social engineering, I believe the website is, and looking at what we need to do, testing out the different formats, looking at what we need to test, looking at the hook banks. We have all of these things to test them out, see if it works, what doesn't work, and start testing it out on social media. And so in less than an hour, we have a plan that works for tailored for us for tech and AI, and we're going to keep you posted on as we're trying out these different trends, these different pieces of content, what happens next. So again, we really appreciate you taking the time being here tonight, learning about Claude Cowork. We'll put out more videos about this if you like, and we'll see you in the next video. um, Thank you so much. Yeah, it's time to move the needle. Appreciate it, Doc. Yeah, not a problem. Thank you so much for everyone watching. If you have anything, make sure you share this video, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Good night, everybody.